Exercise 2-14, we're going to identify the source document. So we've got three transactions here. And it says for each transaction, identify a possible source document. Remember, source document is the piece of paper that tells us that a transaction has occurred. So let's say the business received $20,000 cash and gave capital to the owner. Basically, what this means is the owner has invested in the business. It's an owner contribution, and the owner invested $20,000 and deposit into the cash account. So how would we know this occurred? We would need to have the bank deposit slip that shows the date that it happened, the amount, and which bank account and which bank it happened at. Now the next transaction, purchased office supplies on account. So if it says purchase, that means we purchased. So we purchased office supplies on account. We promised to pay $500 later. So how would we know to record this type of transaction? Well, it's from an invoice. And then the question becomes, is it a purchase invoice or a sales invoice? So when it says a purchase invoice, that means we did the purchasing. If it says sales invoice, that means we did the selling. So in this transaction where we purchased office supplies, is that a purchase invoice or a sales invoice? That's a purchase invoice. So on that piece of paper it would say what type of office supplies we bought, who we bought it from, which is critical because we have to know who we owe the money to, etc. And next it says recorded $1,000 revenue for services rendered to customers. Remember, rendered just means performed. So we performed some services and it's $1,000 of services that we performed. So how do we know that this existed? That would be from a sales invoice. Remember, sales invoice means we did the selling. Check answer. There you go. So this is just a quick, short exercise. There is no other version of this problem.